Here we're going to learn a whole lot about setting up the brush or grid layer of your vector art character. So open up your Illustrator file by double clicking on it, and then it'll open up Illustrator. I already had mine just to skip the whole loading process. Should look like this. Your image should still be here, and if you go over to the layers panel, you will find stock photo with this little lock button right here. All right. What we're going to do today, we're going to learn about the brush tool, and we're going to learn about fill, stroke, and also making a new layer. I guess that one's probably the easiest part. So we'll start with that. So right down here, that plus sign that we had from last time, go ahead and click that one more time, and you'll see layer 2 pop up. Double click on layer 2. We're going to name this outline. You're going to leave this one unlocked, and you're going to make sure that this is the one that you have selected for the majority of the rest of the project, in all honesty. So after you have that, we're going to go to the brush tool right here. Or you can hit B is the hotkey for the paintbrush tool. And we have to get a lot of settings set up with this, actually. So the first is the fill. Right now, if I were to brush, let me just show you. I click and I draw and I drag around and I let go. Oh, good, it actually canceled it out. So you can try that too. Just draw something real quick and then hit Command-Z to undo it. And hopefully that will get rid of it. But I like to do it more formally, where it just had a black outline there. Where it says fill right here, where I'm circling around this white square, it normally, or it should anyway, fill with a certain color. You can change that from white by double clicking on it to really any other color in the rainbow. Do green. I don't want a fill on this. So down here, there's color, gradient, and none. I'm actually going to just straight up cancel it out. This other one here, if I click and bring this is called stroke. That is the outline color. You can see that when I draw right now, it draws with a black line. If I double click on this black and change it to, let's go like red, and click OK, you'll see that my line is red now. Also too, the 1 point one, if I change it to 18, did not. Oh, it always defaults back to 1. Which is good. You actually really don't want it to be super big. We're actually going to go over how to change that in a little bit. The color is up to you, but I actually recommend black. I'm going to show you another trick to do with black on this. So just make sure that you have that slash up here, either at the top or down here where the thing is, just for the fill again, not for the stroke. Stroke, you do want a color black or whatever you prefer. Going back to our layers onto stock photo here. This is a cool little trick. But not on the physical text stock photo, but somewhere like right to the right like this, double click, and you'll see it says dim images 2, and then 50% is the default. If you click this little box and then hit OK, you'll see that it just makes the photo a little transparent, or like easier to see. Now if we go back to our outline, and I'm going to zoom in, zooming, Command plus to zoom in, Command minus to zoom out. Put both your fingers on the trackpad, don't press down, and swipe around. You can see how easy that is to just kind of move around the canvas now and like really get in there to see some fine detail. The 1 point outline could be possibly too big. I like a little bit of a thinner line. There's no true right or wrong with this one. Use your bracket keys. So the bracket, if you look at the letter P on your keyboard to the right, there's a left bracket and a right bracket. The left, if you click it in, makes that little circle smaller so that your lines that you draw are smaller. Or if you use the right bracket, it can really chunk them up. This won't matter too much in the long run because the lines that the shapes that we make now will be filled in later, but it does help seeing content with the lines being ever so slightly smaller right now. So I made mine a little bit smaller. On this outline layer, you're going to outline everything both by shape and by color. So this is why it's really important that you found a photo that has noticeably different color in certain areas, because you want to change the color up. So as I'm going to go around, I'm just going to grab this blue part-ish of the mask. I'm going to do a little more detailed one later. I just want to make sure that it all connects, that I don't have any gaps here in the mask. The other thing you might notice about the brush tool when you draw with it is that the line, after you let go, see how it kind of looks all like jaggedy there? When I let go, it's like, ooh, clean. It will do that for you. It'll adjust for you. So don't worry about the shapes not being like perfectly angular. It kind of tends to like soften them on the edges. That's good. That's intentional for the look that we're going for. So I'm going to go up here to the hair now. This is going to change for everybody. You don't have to draw them all at once. You can kind of individually go about making these lines at your own pace. If you want to get really detailed like I did on my previous one and like I will here, I'm going to block out any areas that look noticeably darker, or maybe not all of them, but some. In here, I'm going to try to establish more hair than there might be from the photo just to help with that aesthetic like that. And then it's a light pocket right here, so I do want to make a little bit of a circle for like a really light part right there. This whole section right here looks to be about the same color, so I'll try to block that off. Again, leaving it with points. And you get the drill from here, pretty much. I'm going to finish this and attach an example of what that, the whole thing looks like outlined. But let's go on to clothing or other articles. So we're going to go to the glove here. Again, hard to see because of the resolution. So the better resolution you pick, the easier time you're going to have. I'm going to start by just trying to grab like the blue of that glove, like that. Sometimes I like to zoom out just to kind of like double check with what it looks like from afar as well. You could go back to the stock photo and unclick the dim and then hit OK if you want to see it like in full. But again, I like working with at least some kind of dim. Maybe I'll go to like 70% because the image is light enough by itself. Then here are, it's not drawing right now. I'm so glad this happened actually. You'll see that little cross by the brush. It's because I'm on the stock photo and we locked it. You want to make sure that you're on the outline. If you end up doing your outline on the stock photo, it's real bad news. Project is essentially ruined and you might have to start over at that point. So do your best to make sure that that does not happen. Here, I'm just trying to grab the rest of the hand. Again, draw by both shape and color. It's very hard to mess this up. Like, even if it doesn't look great as an outline, when it all gets colored in, it tends to make a lot more sense. I'm going to try to break this area of the glove into like a slightly different color as I am over here as well. And maybe a little bit on the knuckle, just by adding in like a little bit of a blob shape right there on the knuckle. So if I zoom out a little bit more and I hide the original photo, there we go. Got a little bit of a glove shape going on. So down here to like the bandages now. Up next, I'm just going to outline most of the arm anyway. You can do this in multiple clicks, but once again, you have to make sure that you close these objects. So if I'm going to draw one over here just as an example. If I leave a little gap like that, when I go to paint this inside, I want to fill this whole shape, it'll leak right out and the color will go everywhere. So everything you make must be like legitimately closed off. I even have what looks like extra little parts of the arm that I kind of want to grab in here just as like different colored bits like that. Sometimes it might even be helpful to draw into other lines if that helps you out. So you're going to outline and add little extra bits to the entirety of your character everywhere. Go ahead, feel free to get detailed. Going to give you guys a lot of time to do this, and I will showcase what this looks like in another video as I'm close to done. For right now, though, when you're done, as always, file, save, and then what you could do, if you're paranoid like me, minimize Illustrator, and your little thumbnail should kind of update to like what it kind of looks like right there. All right, take care, guys. Good luck.